Lamore, I'm going to put the emphasis on you, and you are ready to go.
Great. Okay, so I am Amur, and I have been an artist basically all my life. My whole family is from an artistic background. I've been teaching art in the public school in the county where I live. And just recently I've decided that I am going to bless the rest of the world with my art. I'm not going to just keep it in my basement. I'm just going to go out and market myself, and this is what I'm doing. So basically, my artwork is inspired by my experiences. I grew up in Israel. I've lived here for about 30 some years, and my art is very personal. It comes from experiences that I have, of things that I like to do, events that happened to me from my past, passions that I had, and things of that nature. But recently I've been discovering that my art is a lot about the relationship between people and nature. And I've been doing a lot of acrylic painting recently. And today I'm going to show you some of my artwork that I've done a few years ago. Some was in watercolor and some with acrylic. I am offering my artwork this evening for a special price because I am going to make a little shift with my work, and some of the art that I'm going to present tonight is framed. Most of it is framed and ready to go on the wall, and I've used them in some art shows in the past, and I'm ready to move it on and offer it to you for a special value. So I'm going to start with a first one that is actually not an original because the original is sold, but it is actually, I'm going to move it up here. I have two limited editions of this painting. This is the painting that is sold, is ready to be delivered to the owner. And I just wanted to show you how similar the print is compared to the original. Okay, so I have two limited editions. They are signed, numbered with my special print. My last name is Dekel, and it means a palm tree in Hebrew. So there's a palm tree stamp in here, and also signed it. I am offering it tonight for both of my prints. Instead of $150, $100. So if you guys are interested, you're going to have to let me know with the comments that you're interested. So there are two of them that are offered. Now, why do I do sailboats? I grew up in Israel, as I said, and it's near the Mediterranean, and I love to sail. My dad built a sailboat. I sailed in Greece. I sailed in Turkey. And I sailed in the Caribbean after I moved to the United States. It's really where my passion and my love is. What you see in this painting is, I did it in watercolor, and it was kind of started with like a mistake that I built on it. And if you ever been on a sailboat, and when the ocean picks up and the wind picks up, the clouds roll in, you get that feeling of like you're very small compared to the environment. So the person that's in this picture is pretty small compared to the sailboat. You can see the splash in the water. You can see the clouds getting dark, and that's what this painting is about. So again, I'm offering two limited editions signed. They are $100 instead of $150, and that includes shipping. Okay, so that is for this one. So my second one, number two, I'm going to have to pull it off the wall here. This one is sold. It is a watercolor painting. Thank you. I sold it just yesterday, but I just wanted to show you. This is a watercolor, and it's called Lamb's Ears and Azaleas. I love to garden, and I have both of these in my yard. This is my number two, and yes, it is sold, but it is available in prints on my website, lemordeco.com. So this print, or this painting, originated from a photograph that I took from my yard of these two plants together, the lamb's ears that have a fuzzy texture, and it's very structural leaves against the background. Oops, against the background of this the pink azaleas. So
I really
that
love the
was,
softness in this piece.
thank you, Tatiana. Okay. So number 3, I'm going to take this off.
Amur, this one's my favorite.
Well, thank you, Beth. Okay, so this is an acrylic painting, and it is framed ready to be hung on the wall. It has a floating frame. I love the floating frames because you can really see
like
that it is a canvas. Okay, so this is ready to be hung. Again, it's got the frame attached and everything. And tonight I'm offering it for $400 instead of $500, and that includes shipping. So it's only one, and it's first come, first serve. And the story behind this,
I just love
really,
that bold color.
Thank you.
I just do.
I'm not really a bird person. I love birds, but I've decided I'm going to try a little different tactics. Like I said, I teach art, and I have to accommodate all of my students' desires and needs and wants. So I decided, instead of starting with an image, I decided to just simply start putting stuff on the canvas and to kind of go along with it. So I call this abstract birds because that's what it turned out. Again, what you're seeing is the relationship between the two birds, the colors, the texture, the form, the egg, and this eyes peeking through. It was kind of a playful, not mistake, but this is what happened when I just kind of put things up there. So I could see this is acrylic painting on canvas. Okay,
Lamore, you have some comments coming through here. Marie says the colors are beautiful. She loves the eyes. And William said the eyes of the birds are evocative.
Well, I guess evocative in what way? We'd love to hear. But anyway, if you guys, if anybody interested, just let us know. And at the end of the show, there's going to be a link that you can click to and purchase that. Again, this is $300 instead. Sorry, $400 instead of $500 tonight. Okay, my last piece. That is cyclamen. This is number 4 for tonight. And again, it's an original watercolor. It is framed with a metal frame, ready to be hung. It's matted. Okay. My signature is over here somewhere. Okay. And again, it's one of a kind. First come, first serve. It is $400 instead of $500, and it's including shipping. It has a non-glare plexiglass as well. Now, the story behind this one, this flower, the cyclamen, that I think in the United States is, you can buy it in flower shop and so forth. In Israel, where I grew up, it grows wild. And in the rainy season, in the winter, it starts popping up everywhere. And Israel is usually a fairly dry country. So these things, they just kind of come out between rocks and stuff like that. And I loved them as a kid. I used to go hunt for the bulbs that they come from and just stick it in my yard and wait for it to grow. And they're so unique in the way they grow. The flowers are. It's like a little crown. It's very dark pink, and then it's kind of white, and it's very, very light and airy. So that's why I painted the cyclamen. So this one is also available in prints, but tonight I'm selling my original, and it's first come, first serve. And these are 4 pieces that I have tonight. And I just wanted to let you know also that I do commissions, I do portraits. I recently finished this painting of, I hope you all recognize, Bruce Springsteen. My husband is a musician, so he loves Bruce Springsteen. He never stopped talking about it. I've been to his concerts, so did it for Father's Day. Prints are available, and this is Little Richard. Did that too. I did some other commissions for friends, and also do dogs. If you guys are interested, you can go on my website and see my prices and contact me if you're interested. Are there any comments, questions? Angry on the left, right, and goofy. Okay, these are the eyes. Okay, got you. Thank you. Okay. So we're moving on to Tatiana, right?
Yep.
You go.
Okay. So, hi everyone. I gotta stand up now. So we've got 4 pieces today. We're gonna start with this one. So, the 4 pieces that you're gonna see are all words of art or word art. So I actually take the words and put them on the canvas, and I flip the letters, I write them, I put them every which way. I'll flip the canvas as I'm working, and it just keeps growing from there and evolving from there. I add more lines, and I kind of just have fun with it. And this particular piece is called Prove Them Wrong. Prove Them Wrong number 2. I did a series of 3 of them, and it's all black and white. So most of them I did black and white. Let me give you a little backstory here. So this is something that I used to do in my sketchbook on a napkin in a bar or restaurant. It actually turned into someone's tattoo. I stylized their name in this manner, and I never really put much thought into it. It's just what I doodled in my sketchbook. And then about 2 years ago, I'm like, why am I not doing these larger on canvas? So here we are, and this is what I've been doing on canvas for a couple years. So I have them in black and white, and I've also added color. You'll see some more of those. So this one says, prove them wrong. I'm kind of at that point where I'm still trying to prove some people wrong that I can be an artist. I'm an art teacher too, but this is my true passion. And then, so what's interesting with these is this one's 15 by 30. It's normally $450 for the original. And tonight, selling it for $337.50, including shipping. But you'll see what I do along the edges is I actually write what it says. 2 reasons. One, I forget what they say after a while. I cannot find all the letters. So it helps remind me which one it is. But I also kind of I always put on the edges and finish the pieces. And as you can see with this one here, I always complete. I like the gallery wrap. I like adding that to it. You don't have to worry about framing it. But this is kind of cool. It's just hanging and you can see what it says. So if you were to have a piece, thank you. If you were to have a piece commissioned, it could say whatever you want. It doesn't have to say what the painting actually says in the piece. It could say anything. Thanks, Lydia. Trying, working hard. We're proving them wrong, right, girl? So here's this one. So this is proven wrong too.
It really is interesting, Tatiana.
Thank you. One more. Okay, so this one says determination. There we go. So when you're determined, you kind of fire up.
I love your choice of red.
Thank you. You can kind of see prove them wrong. I'm determined to do so. So there is there's a theme somewhat, but it doesn't just apply to me. It applies, these are universal, thoughts and ideas. So, but when you're determined, you just want to get it done. You're fired up. Like the 5 of us were determined to make this happen. And we did, and here we are. So this one I also wrote along the side. Sometimes I flip the way that they're written. Sometimes I go around the whole way. But it's every side. You can see the link in the comments. Every side here. So this one is 20 by 20, and it's usually $725. I did a series of 4 of these. I'm not showcasing them all here tonight. But tonight it is $543.75, including shipping. But I really like this one a lot. Oh, you know what I didn't mention? Beth, was that you? You said you liked the colors. I couldn't find my yellow paint. I couldn't find it. And I was like, I really wanted to paint, and there's no store open at the time. I decided to paint when the kids are asleep. So thanks, Marie. I do really like finishing the sides. So what I did was I did it without yellow. There is no yellow in this entire painting.
So where's the yellow coming from?
So I have a cadmium orange, which is a very light orange. And then I have this like flesh tone. So I went with the pinks instead of the yellows. So it's that cadmium orange that gives you that yellow-like look, and then it blends into this like pink flesh tone. So there's absolutely no yellow in it at all, which is
cool.
a little hard to see, but well, you kind of got to roll with the punches and you know, make it happen.
Determination,
So I
right?
stopped painting because I didn't have yellow. So now I move on to this guy. So put this one down here. Now this one also says something. This one says, accept change. As we go through different things in our lives, we need to accept change. Things cannot stay the same. This one, the color choice was a little bit different than the other ones. Kind of got back into, so I went from the warm tones in determination to the purples and pinks and a little bit of green to get that contrast. Now this one in particular, I did not write the words on the edges. I just painted it. I don't always feel that it's necessary. This one, I just got into the colors and I wanted to continue the colors and I didn't want the words to take away from the colors. But yeah, so I mean, some people really like to look hard. Oh, it says something. It's like a puzzle. Let me find it. Good luck. I don't know where they are anymore. I could find the A in this one and one C. That's pretty much it. But it kind of just evolves and takes on another form of itself. And I just really play around with the shapes and the lines and I have a blast. Oh, thank you. Gretchen said the color choice is so soothing. But sometimes it's subconscious, the color choice. So with determination, you're on fire. You're moving, you're doing, you're going. Hence the warm colors. But when you're accepting change and you need to make a shift, if you're fired up, you're not going to accept the change. So hence why you need the calming, cooler colors.
Tatiana, you're a teacher too, right?
Yes, I am. I am an art teacher.
Do you feel that your work is influenced by your teaching?
Do you mean my personal work? Is it influenced by my teaching, or is my teaching influenced by my work?
Vice versa, yeah. Either way, I sometimes feel like my students kind of trigger some ideas.
Sometimes I feel this one's really big. That's why it's hiding in the corner here. Yeah, that'd be great. You could do that.
Wow.
I do notice that I tend to do more abstracts with my students, which is like a direct correlation with what I like to create. So it kind of makes sense that I would do abstracts with them. There we go. But it's big. Now you get the full scope of it. This one's 48 by 60. And oh, I forgot to state the price. I'm sorry. So accept change over here is usually $2,900, but we're doing a nice sale. Today it's $2,100 and it's 40 by 30 inches. So back to Lemoore's question real quick. I find that I tend to do more abstracts with my students because they don't feel as pressured to make it look perfect. And it gives them more creative freedom. And they're always so hard on themselves that doing the abstracts kind of takes that pressure off most of the time. So this piece was COVID inspired. It was inspired by the pandemic. I've only done a couple since. I started it in March and it took just forever. I didn't have that push, that flow. I was kind of not depressed, but just the creative juices weren't there. So this one says, out of the darkness we shall rise. It's one of the longer ones that I've done with the words. I'd have to go back and watch the time lapse to see where the letters actually are. But for this piece, I really wanted it to feel like it was that bright explosion of color. And even though you go through dark times, you still come out bright. And I wanted to capture that, these dark hues, but still coming out into these brighter tones. And I think I'm happy with this one. So this one, it is large. It's usually 5,040. Today it's 3,780, which is a steal, I think. I really like this one. I'm really happy with how it came out. Did I miss any questions on there? Oh, see, that's the other thing. William said he sees a cute face on the right. Things pop out with the abstracts, which is what I like. And everyone kind of sees something different. Oh, thank you, Gretchen. Are we moving on? I can't hear.
Okay, so I guess that's me.
Yeah, Beth. Okay, I couldn't hear you there. Sorry.
Hi. All right, my first one is going to be the mission. And let me give you a little bit of background about me. Aside from the fact that I am an artist, I am also a rocket scientist by day. And you're going to see a lot of this coming through my art. And this particular one, you can find it on my website, but I don't offer it in this format. And so, I made this particular piece special for the GAO, the General Land Office here in Texas, where I'm from. And you'll see a lot of detail in it. And it's of a Texas mission. I had to get special permission to make this. It's not of the mission itself. It's of one of the side buildings. And it was a lot of fun. In order to do this, I had to go through more hoops than you could imagine to do this. And you're going to see all the detail in it. This is really literally one of a kind. I do have prints on my website, like I said, but this is a gallery wrap. And I made it, like I said, just for the General Land Office. And this is it. I've only made like 5 prints in this format ever. It's limited edition, it's signed. And I'm offering it because of that just for $50. Because I do offer, prints of it. But this one's really cool. I don't know, can anybody guess what mission this might be in Texas? It's pretty famous, but it's not of the mission itself. It's one of the side buildings. You're right, William, you got it. It's the Alamo. So believe it or not, this particular one is actually of a side building of the Alamo. So you're right.
I love the texture.
So the Alamo is copyrighted. You cannot make any image of the Alamo. They will not let you. But this particular one, I was able to get a one of. Way too low, thanks. I
agree.
That.
I agree with him.
So anyway, I've had this piece for a long time in my inventory, and I do need to get it moving. And so that's why I'm going ahead and I'm pricing it the way I'm pricing this gallery wrap. And so I hope somebody would be happy to give it a really good home. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, so my next piece that I'm going to be showing you is also a limited edition. And this one I don't offer anywhere else on my website. Most of my art is Texas themed, and that's what I do. This particular piece is really special to me. I made this piece when I was, believe it or not, on the back of an elephant in Nepal. So I happened to be in Nepal for work, not as an artist, but for my rocket science day job. And I was speaking in Nepal to students. And what I was doing was trying to speak about education, about our trips to the moon, about, I had lent a lunar sample for display. And so I was there speaking a lot about that. And I had a couple of days off while I was there. And so I was on the back of an elephant taking a tour through the Chichwan National Forest in Nepal. And I've made so many friends in Nepal. It was wonderful. It was an amazing experience. But this probably was my favorite moment during the entire trip. So we're going through the forest. We come around a corner and we see a mama rhinoceros right there. And right behind her that you cannot see is her baby. And yeah, so right back here, she's got a baby. And I have to tell you, my elephant was none too happy about this. And so being a mama herself, she trumpeted and we all went running the other way. And this is the only photo I got of this rhinoceros. And by the way, this was taken, for those of you that know anything about camera lenses, this was taken with a 24 millimeter camera lens. This was not a telephoto lens.
Wow. That's
so she was right there. I mean, she was really close. This is on about a 1/4 inch canvas. So it would be really, really easy. Yeah, Rhino with attitude. You can see, so she's pursing her lips. You can see it. She is unhappy. That look is the look of a mama that is ready to charge. She was not at all pleased. It is ready to hang, though you can frame it. It is finished on the back with ribbon. It's signed. It's numbered. It's I've only ever made 5 prints of the whole thing, but only 1 ever on canvas. So it's super, yeah, you're right, Marie, super, super close. It was actually a really scary moment until I really thought about it. It does, you're right. It looks like a scene from Avatar. It was intense. And the jungle was fabulous. I mean, it looks just like that. And it was that misty, there's nothing I added to this photo. This isn't Photoshop. This isn't, in any way changed. This is just the way it looked. It was beautiful and stunning. And that mama rhino was just that amazing. So anyway, it was one of my favorite moments. But like I said, really most of my photography on my site is Texas themed. We don't have rhinoceroses in Texas unless you go to the zoo. And so I am offering her today for $74.25, which is quite the steal, if you ask me. So that is my mama rhinoceros. And you're going to notice, like I said, a lot of detail in my prints. In my day job, I spend all my time looking at the detail of my designs and of, I hate to say it, spreadsheets all day long, numbers, everything is a process, everything. And so you see in my art a lot of detail coming out. I have a tendency to just really hone in on the structure of things. Like on the mission that we just looked at, you really see the structure of the mission. You see all the detail in the rock. You see all that. Same thing here. You see the detail in the rhinoceros's skin. You can see the pursing of her lips. You see the detail in the forest. It's just something that is really specific to the way that I do my art. Thank you, William. I really appreciate that. I really try to keep my prices competitive. One of my main goals in doing this is to bring photography and fine art photography to the masses. I like to spread my art. It's something I really want to do. I know how much it means to me to have a good piece of art in my home. And so I try really hard to keep my prices reasonable. So I do offer my open prints for the most part at a pretty reasonable price. This is another piece. It's Foggy Morning. Here you go. And you can see this one's on acrylic. And this is another limited edition, because again, most of my pieces are Texas. You can really see the acrylic, the gloss of it. And I loved this piece in a glossy acrylic because you can really see the light and the structure. This is a World Heritage site with 3 different World Heritage locations all in this one square. And it was just such a surreal moment to be out there, and it was just so, light and airy and foggy, and the people walking by. It was just such a beautiful moment. you can see, the hanging mechanism for this is on rails because it's acrylic, and it is a pretty substantial piece, pretty heavy. I normally would offer a piece like this for a lot more money than this. It's Bremen, Germany. William, it's Bremen, Germany. Thank you. Yeah, it's very sharp. That's one of the reasons I love acrylic as one of my main mediums. I even love it over metal for the most part because it is such a sharp medium to present my photography. And again, with my love of detail and, it just provides such a lovely glow to lights, especially for warmth. I really do enjoy putting my art onto acrylic for that reason. So that is Foggy Morning. And I just love Bremen. I mean, if anyone ever has a chance to go to see Bremen, it is your quintessential European city. It is absolutely stunning. It's a small town in Germany, and it is really, really beautiful. And like I said, there's essentially 3 World Heritage sites in one square. It's a really impressive thing to see. For my last piece, I am going to introduce a brand new piece.
Oh, I can't wait to see this one.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So I did not get my artist proof in time for this piece. So what you're seeing is literally cutting edge, just about to show. This is breaking news as far as I'm concerned. I'm doing something brand new that basically no one is doing. I am offering a fine art print on gold metal. And so I am doing one of my most favorite pieces, which is San Bernard, the salt flats from San Bernard. I'm going to turn my light here so that you don't see it as much. And you can see, well, I don't know if that helped. There. And it will be on gold metal. And so I'm going to normally be offering this limited edition print on gold metal for $1,200. Because it's a pre-order, today I'm offering just one at $900. It will come with a certificate of authenticity. It will come with a brass plate on the back that will have the numbering. There will only ever be 50 printed on the gold metal. It will come with special packaging and among other things. So it's going to be quite an experience to be able to order this piece. So today it's because that piece didn't come in and this is a pre-order, I'm going to offer it for $900. So that is what I have today. Well, thanks. So on to the next.
I don't think it all comes. Okay, Katie, you ready?
Okay. Yeah, I'm ready. Hi, I'm Katie. This is my martial arts series is what I'm showcasing. I'm just holding a small one up right now. There were originally 21 of these martial arts paintings done. So to do these, what I did was I got with a martial artist. This one was Nathan Perry, and he went through his movements, and I photographed. I just snapped as many pictures as I could. And then I sat down with him and we went through all the photographs, and he told me which ones, were the best indications of the form and the movements of the martial arts he was practicing. He did mixed martial arts, so it's not a particular style in these, it's mixed martial arts. And let me show you the first one I have for sale today. This is Wind, and these are oil paintings. I start the painting with acrylic, and then I go over it with oils after that. And they're also highly textured. This one doesn't have a whole lot of texture on it, but you can see there's a little bit. I used a heavy texture paste that I put on the paintings after I put the body on there, the form. After I drew his movement, I added texture all over to try and I was trying to create a difference between the substance of the form and the atmosphere he was in. So I was really trying to capture a difference between the atmosphere and moving in the atmosphere, and then the form itself, like the solid body. So this is wind. Let me bring it.
Oops, you froze.
Oh,
Okay, she froze. So,
Technical difficulties.
okay.
Here we go.
Am I back?
Yes.
You're back.
you're back.
There we go. Okay.
Technology. So all these paintings in this series are coated with art resin. Art resin is UV resistant, it's non-yellowing, and you can clean these. These are oil paintings you can clean with glass cleaner, like if you want to. It really protects the piece, and it has an amazing transparency and gloss. It's really a great product. I love art resin. So this is wind. This is normally $4 a square inch is what I charge for my work. So that would put this one at $1,280. But today it is $960. So wind. Okay. We'll grab the next one. This is water. Try and tilt it.
No, 15 is more. She was on fire.
So water is at $4 a square inch is normally $1,600, but today you can save $400. You can get it for $1,200. And I'm looking to continue this series. I would like to work with more martial artists to do different styles and particular styles. So if there's any martial artists watching who are interested in working with me to do that, give me a holler. This one is fire. This is the same size and same price as water. So you can save $400 buying it today with my sale. And this one has...
Can you hold it back just there like that? That's perfect, because it's hard to see all there. Perfect, because you can't see all the detail and texture in the flames. That came out really cool.
Very powerful. I really like that one.
Thanks.
Why does it not see his face?
I knew that question was going to come up. And some of them, I made the face dark. I blacked it out. And when I did that, it totally changed the piece. It made it more mysterious, and it gave it a, psychologically not seeing the face. I don't know what that means. So I subconsciously, I did it. It was a subconscious thing that I did when I blacked out some of the faces. Not all of them are, like this one has the face still.
Right.
But in a few of them, I blacked out the face and put like a abstract mask over it, and I think it emphasizes the movement of the body.
It can also, you can put anybody's face on it. You can imagine who it might be. It doesn't give you a specific person.
This is another one where the face is hidden. Oh, let me get back a little bit.
Perfect, right there.
So this one is called Rip. And it's regularly $2,304 at $4 a square inch. Today it's $1,728. And again, it's coated with art resin, which is the gloss that you see. And it's oil on canvas. Thank you. Let me see if there's any comments or questions. We good?
So now it's my turn.
Yes,
Yeah.
Kim, all you.
It's Kim.
Okay. I am a watercolor artist, and I do a lot of emphasis and work with media. In this particular series, I was exploring watercolor, and I was exploring watercolor and how it worked on textured gesso, and that's not a normal thing. So I like to do that. I'm moving the camera because these pieces are in multiple panels, and it makes it difficult to bring it to the camera. So what I'm going to start with is I'm going to start with the 3 or 4 by 4 inches each.
Kim, you're breaking up just a little.
Oh, okay. Okay, so this is the Amur Leopard, and it works out to be about 12 inches by 12 inches. And I am resurrecting this series, this style. I'm going to revisit it and produce more pieces. This is a study, so it's small. I have a larger piece, but this piece here is just a square. I'm selling it for $120, and it is not available anywhere else. Can you tell me the piece that's there? Yeah. I want to show you what this looks like. So here we have one of the panels. This is an antelope that I did, and you can see that it's on board. Applied a gesso to it, and then I textured it with a palette knife. I let that dry. Then I do the watercolor over the top of it. As you can see, so that one is $120. The next piece is the Clouded Leopard, and the Clouded Leopard, you can see red dot. This one sold on Monday. It's got a 6 by inch square and then 2 4 by 4 inch squares. So it works out to be about 12 inches by 18 inches. I am going to do prints of these, so if anybody's interested in the prints, if they sell out, this one was $170. And you can see the texture and the detail. You can see the eyes, and you can see the texture, how the pigment of the watercolor seeps into the detail, into the texture of the gesso.
The texture on those are beautiful.
Yeah, it's harder to get texture on these small ones. Wait till you see the next one. The next one is one of my absolute favorites. I'm going to turn the corner here, and this is my Sumatran tiger. Really quickly, but you get the idea. Here. The Sumatran tiger, every subspecies of tiger is endangered. This is a Sumatran tiger. You can tell he's got a blep. Everybody knows what a blep is. So you see a pet with their tongue sticking out. There you go. So even these guys do it. This is in 3 pieces. This piece, I'm going to get really close so you can see the texture. Now these are sealed on top of it. So I have to seal it because the watercolor sits on the surface, and that doesn't work.
Now, did you, quick question here. So these are watercolor paintings. Now, usually watercolor, for anyone non-artists watching, usually watercolor is done on paper.
Paper.
So I am fascinated by this. So could you talk about that for a second?
Well, I'm not one to follow rules, and I like to explore different things. And I saw an opportunity to explore, and like honestly, the first piece I did was a 7-piece compilation of chameleon that ended up being 8 foot by 9 foot. This chameleon was huge. And the texture on it, I loved it, and I needed to do endangered species, because if you look at these, the whole animal's not there. Part of it.
Oh, you broke up a little bit.
The whole animal's not there. The whole animal isn't there. You're missing pieces. It kind of replicates what's happening to it in real life. So this piece works out to be about 24 inches by 24 inches, and I've got it priced at $900.
That's a steal, Kim. Super meaningful.
It's I really enjoy this, and like I said, I'm gonna put all of the pieces I have like this up. I have a dwok, I have an otter, I have an Amur leopard piece like this. It's a big Amur leopard. But here's the next piece. Now, this is sad. This is sad because this guy's actually gone. This is a black rhino. And it is, oh, there we go, 5 pieces. And overall, it is 45 inches by 30 inches. And, if you get close up on this one, I'm limited by my, but if you get up close to this one, you can really see the texture I managed to get in that with the gesso.
It's amazing with the watercolor that you can do that much texture. It's really beautiful.
Well, you're doing the texture before you're applying the paint, so you end up with the paint sinking down into the crevices of the texture, which is really, really interesting. You get dark spots and light spots. You can see how it like really seeps into the
like you are the artist, but you're kind of letting the paint do its work too, which is pretty cool.
Right.
Yeah.
And the thing
Beautiful
about this is that you really need to. I'm going to set this down here. That piece I'm selling for $1,590. Honestly, when these pieces get pushed to my website, they're going to be significantly higher. This is kind of an intro to the moment. I wanted to go over a couple of things. This is what the profile looks like on these bigger pieces. They're 2 inches deep. They have a nice big thick cradle with the masonite attached to the frame, and they're hung with 2 penny nails. Now you're going to think, gosh, these are going to be really hard to hang. Making sure that the spacing is right and everything. I got you covered. This comes with it.
Oh, look at that. It's like a map.
It's a map. And it
Very
has,
cool. Very cool.
It has a level line. The level line is drawn. Everything is parallel or perpendicular to that line. And literally, you nail this to the wall. You nail this to the wall with 2 penny nails. And you tape it with at first, with tape to make sure it's level, and then you nail nails through the holes that are indicated.
That's so convenient.
You pull this off, and literally you hang the pieces on the nails.
It's very helpful. A lot of people would find that really intimidating. I can't hang that piece. It's not all the same line, but that just makes it so much easier.
Right. And my pieces don't line up. This one happens to line up, but so there is that. Assembly instructions, yes. I have included assembly instructions. Okay. So that is our show. We are planning. Let me bring everybody up. There we go. So now the thought is this show is going to remain up. We're going to promote it over the next couple of weeks. And, we'll probably do another live towards the end of the show, kind of, reminding everybody here's what's left. And we're winding the show down, last chance. How do you guys think this went?
Not
I
bad.
agree. I think we did great.
Yeah, we turned it right in an hour.
Yeah,
We're still live.
We had some technical difficulties in the beginning, but I think we pulled through.
Yes.
I don't see any more comments coming in.
I am.
Oh, thanks, Gretchen.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gretchen.
Thank you so much for.
Thanks, Marie. Thanks, Elizabeth.
This is great.
Yeah, thanks everyone that was here.
Okay, so are we ready to end the broadcast?
Thank you for joining us,
Thanks
Liz.
everybody for watching.
No problem.
Tomorrow. Liz, Ann, she bought the painting, one of my paintings.
Oh, yay.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
I did
yay.
a
Thank
shout
you
out
for
to-
joining us, Liz. Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
Ken.
Okay,
All right.
guys. Have a good
Bye.
night.